And we're back. What was that?
What?
I think Llytic just opened a drink.
Happy St. Patty's Day.
I'm wearing green so I don't get pinched.
I'm wearing a shirt for an Irish band.
Mine has a leprechaun cat riding a unicorn llama on it. Zane, are you wearing green?
No, I'm wearing a Bob Ross shirt and there's green trees on it.
That counts. You're good.
Right. So we don't have to pinch you.
How are you gonna pinch me? You gonna fucking drive over here?
Don't question a prince of space.
Suddenly, a finger. 2 fingers. What are you doing? What are these fingers? Ah, stop! Why are you pinching me?
Just forms fingers from the earth.
Comes out of the ground.
You just broke the ground because I'm inside.
Yeah, just destroy your room.
Don't. This belongs to the dorm. How am I going to explain it to it that 2 massive fingers just broke through the floor?
How am I going to explain that a god wrecked my room?
Yeah, there was a god in my room and they pinched me with the floor. Alright, buddy, I think you gotta go back to the crazy house.
No, breathalyzer time.
Ah, shit. But I am drinking a mango raspberry recorder-leg. Sweden.
Decent. So, we're going back to the Frollo today.
I'm Llytic.
I'm Tom.
I'm Magic the Gathering. Yeah, that's it. Play my cards, babe.
Funny thing is, green is my favorite color to play in Magic, so yeah.
I just don't like blue.
Blue is annoying.
Alright, author's note. First part of this chapter gets rather randy. Savage.
Oh yeah!
But snap into a Slim Jim! But the rest is cool, though. Under 17s proceed with caution.
So.
Ooh, is this gonna be like that one time we read about people drinking piss? Are we about to drink old man piss?
Shut up, Zane. That's my line. Chapter 13. Dang it, Zane.
That time Tom drank old man piss.
Why me? Why would I be the one to do that?
Because it's your line.
I don't know how I let Claude talk me into extending our romantic weekend, but there I was in his private chambers, huddled on the bed and wrapped in a hand-crocheted Afghan I made for him last winter.
Wait,
I think
I
we're
thought
back.
This was one vacation. What?
I think we're back in the future now.
Then why does he have a private chamber in the future?
I don't know. I'm just as confused as you are.
I
but
think
whatever.
it is the past. I think she maybe went back. I don't know.
Yeah, we'll see. Claude insisted that I return him to Paris because he was anxious to find and punish the soldier who embarrassed him. Okay, it is the future, but they are back in the past. That's not confusing.
Gotta get back to the past. Samurai
Jack.
Watcha!
That's such a good theme song. I love it. I knew Claude didn't. Well, neither did I. Want to say goodbye so soon.
Well, you have to. It had just started to rain. Sometimes I forget how chilly the Palace of Justice can be on a damp autumn nights. Claude left to confer with his officers, and I began thinking about our first night together during that fantastic summer. Claude was so sweet. Well, to tell the truth, he got a little silly and steamy after I started singing that old Ray Charles song. Couldn't help but laugh at the memory. The old man's sweating so hard he's steaming.
Now,
some people cry when they orgasm. She sings Ray Charles.
Okay, now it goes to the whole effect where it's like, oh, we're flashing back now.
Flashback sex.
Yeah, boy.
Claude returned to the room and sat on the side of the bed.
Oh, wait, not yet.
Don't tell me you're cold, darling, he said good-humoredly, noting my efforts to get warm. I'm not that cold, I half-heartedly protested. It's just that I was waiting.
Okay. Waiting for me to warm you, my love. Claude leaned over and kissed my lips.
Mwah.
I'm on Inspirobot again, so yeah.
I'm not cold anymore, baby, I said as I embraced his lean body and let the Afghan fall from my shoulders. He chuckled softly in my ear. Ew. Just imagine as he began to caress me and hold my body close to his.
Denisha. Claude sighed as he continued to kiss and caress me. I enjoyed his moans of pleasure. As I returned each caress with equal passion. Ooh, Claude! I sighed as my body tingled from his mouth and his hands on my skin. Desire rose and stirred in me like a storm.
And he came in like a wrecking ball.
I came in like a wrecking ball.
Suddenly I whispered, Claude, what if someone comes? The soldiers. Claude Frollo, who was not about to stop what he was doing, laughed softly and said, my dear, no one or nothing will disturb us tonight. I left strict orders. Ooh, darling, dear, so beautiful. And with that, Claude and I embarked on yet another night of passion. The pattering of rain against the window and the crackling of the fire, not the first fire, that's weird, set the perfect stage for our romantic rendezvous. Funny, our first time was not all candlelight and roses. Instead, what started as a pleasant visit was soon to transform into a night of shocking revelations. Then the fun began.
And now the fun begins.
I really was hoping he'd say the only thing coming tonight is me! Hurry and get things together.
3 minutes of ecstasy. Have you heard that Ninja Sex Party song?
Of course I have! I've heard all of their songs!
What song? What's it called?
3 minutes of ecstasy.
I didn't know.
Ecstasy. Several nights a month.
It's basically a joke about how he has no stamina.
Okay.
You just tell me, baby, if that is too much.
That's the whole thing, is like she's left unsatisfied and he only lasted 3 minutes. And the drawing of my nuts.
There he is. I had just finished supper, tidied the house, and changed my clothes when I heard the knock on the door. Claude was coming over, and I wanted everything to be perfect. Although we had seen each other nearly every day since that anguished, tearful session in the bell tower, Claude hadn't set foot in my modest home I shared with Fern. Not since that day I offered him cake or lemonade.
I went out of my way, cooking foods I know he'd never try, but would learn to like. That just reminds me, the whole, coffee thing I mentioned last episode, I'm not unfounded in my concern, considering the fact that one of the things that happened shortly after, around the end of World War II, was a whole bunch of survivors of the Holocaust dying because American soldiers who freed them gave them chocolate.
What? And I know that's not something to laugh at, but what the fuck do you mean?
Basically, because of the fact that they'd been nearly starved and were, malnourished and all that shit, their body couldn't handle chocolate.
Yeah, it was too...
Oh, God. What?
Death by chocolate, a whole new meaning.
And so there's, if you look at look it up, there's, reports of, a good number of people who managed to survive the concentration camps until the rescue, dying because of poisoning via chocolate. Accidental chocolate poisoning.
I could just picture the soldier just being nice. They giving this young girl chocolate for the first time, and then she fucking dies. Just, oh god. That must have been horrible.
Yeah, that was the whole thing. It's they were, trying to, help out and shit, and just accidentally killed a whole bunch of Jews.
Oh, fucking hell.
Live and learn, I guess. Ugh.
I hope people, remember that in the military whenever they save people, they know what foods to give. Well, not chocolate specifically, but, they have, a list, do not give the starving people so-and-so, you know?
Yeah, give them anything that is mildly toxic or contains, naturally contains narcotics.
Yeah.
Caffeine is a narcotic.
Yeah.
So, does that mean you can become a narco state if you sell coffee?
Well, how do you think Starbucks rose to power?
Drugs. Like I was saying, stuff on Earth to me is space drugs. We grade it carbonated soda is kind of a drug back on Alternia. Stuff does weird shit to trolls.
Huh.
This is why you don't drink the carbonated stuff. It just tastes bad.
This is why only the cultists drink Faygo. That shit fucks with your brain.
Meanwhile, I used to drink about 4 or 5 of those a day.
Sodas or Faygo?
Sodas.
Shit.
I did have a Dr. Pepper made with real sugar today, so that was decent. I still think it's a gimmick, but it's Dr. Pepper, so I'm not complaining.
I planned a simple supper of fried chicken, green beans, and cornbread.
Back to poisoning.
Fried chicken?
Yeah.
Okay,
We got some KFC up in here.
That stuff can tear you apart even if you are used to eating fried stuff. It's delicious, but...
What
He's an
breading
old
have
man.
you been
He
ingesting?
can't survive fried chicken.
well,
Suddenly immediately have a heart attack from the grease.
I haven't had homemade fried chicken. Well, I have oven fried chicken, but we don't do the deep fry thing because it's unhealthy. But I guess it was the KFC I went to. Really tore up my stomach one time.
Yeah, it's KFC.
Yeah.
Looking over an open fireplace is an experience in itself. Fern taught me a few tricks on regulating the heat and how to keep myself safe when near open flames. Don't think that you're a character from Harry Potter and try to use the Flu Network.
No, that's a bad way to go.
Yeah, like I said, how to keep yourself safe.
Still your line, I think.
It was, yes, you interrupted me.
Sorry.
It wasn't easy, but I finally got the hang of it nonetheless. I still miss the 20th century. Still miss the 20th century conveniences of gas stoves and microwaves.
Gas stoves are great to cook on, and microwaves are one of the best inventions ever.
Yeah, it's nothing like ruining your food.
Depends on the food. Depends on what you're microwaving. It makes it easy. You could just, heat something up. I peeped through the glass and sighed with relief. Claude, I said as I opened the door, I wasn't expecting you until later. I threw my arms around him and kissed his lips. Ugh. But I'm glad you're here. Claude Frollo smiled and returned the kiss. He was carrying a small basket and something else, a rolled parcel wrapped in muslin. Is that how you say that?
Inside the basket is a child. He stole another one.
Frollo, you can't steal children. Oh,
Sure
you.
I can.
Sorry,
Dun-dun-dun.
Sure I can. Watch me.
Alright, shit. Okay, I'm watching my friends have an argument about fashion. Anyways.
Crocs are coming into fashion, and it's amazing.
They've never been in fashion.
Yes, but they're starting to become the new fashion, so...
No, they aren't. They
So,
aren't.
They're
what's
becoming
that
trendy.
mean?
No, they aren't.
Look it up if you don't believe me.
Alright, Tom, let's wear Crocs together.
I wear Crocs all the time. Don't know what you're
I
talking
will break both your feet.
about. No, you won't.
Yes, I will.
You'll be afraid to touch the Crocs.
No. You see, it's quite simple. I don't need to touch the Crocs. I can just take a hammer to your feet.
That
Oh,
would
I was
ruin a
going with
perfectly good
glove.
hammer, though.
That wouldn't break the feet. That would smash or crush them, though.
It would break the bones.
Yeah, it would, turn in the paste, too, depending on the angle.
What, do you want me to dip your feet in liquid nitrogen, then hit them with the hammer?
That'll smash them, not break them. It's not break to bits, it's smash to bits for a reason.
What is your criteria for break?
Criteria? What? It's criteria!
I said criteria.
You said criteria!
You did say Cryoshiria. It was kind of funny.
Great, I think we're rubbing off on him. Anyways, where's my line? Is it, what's that, baby?
Yes. What's that baby?
What's
pron-
that,
it's
baby?
not
What's
pronounced.
that baby doing here? Frollo, did you steal a child and a baby?
Perhaps.
I asked. Claude set the basket and parcel on the table, then removed his hat and cloak. Not so fast, dearest one, he playfully said as he neatly hung his wraps on the hook near the door. How did he know where our coat rack was? It's a fucking coat rack!
I always feel like somebody's watching me. Oh. Claude then handed me the rolled parcel, saying, I saw you admiring this, and I thought you'd like to have it. He smiled broadly as I unwrapped the package. I gasped in surprise. It was a dead body. It was a tapestry. It was a soft but detailed work, no larger than an average-sized poster, depicting a French countryside complete with the sign flowing lazily through quiet woods and meadows. I marveled at the intricate stitches and softness of the fabric. Oh, Claude, it's gorgeous. I don't know what to say.
Say nothing about the children.
I immediately embraced and kissed him. Thank you. Claude chuckled and returned my kiss, then replied, You're most welcome, my darling. At once I hung the tapestry in a prominent spot near the front window. That way it would catch the morning light.
And catch fire.
Well, shoot. Still my line?
No.
Okay, I didn't think so.
Scorp.
I stood back and looked at.
Yeah.
Is that the one?
Yes.
Yes, you're
Look
good.
at the medieval textile artistry. Claude walked up and embraced me from behind. I felt his boner. Does it look familiar, Nisha? I turned my eyes and examined the tapestry further. Then it hit me. Isn't this the one I was looking at? I said with astonishment. Claude kissed the back of my neck and stroked my hair as he finished. On the first day we met, even after your little outburst, I had made up my mind to give you this treasure. That's pretty dumb. Why do people just assume when you're looking at stuff? What if it was just like, that's pretty neat, but I don't want it?
You know, I really like the Chicago Space Needle.
I'm gonna buy you the Chicago Space Needle.
Not gonna work.
This zoo has a pretty cool giraffe.
I'm gonna buy you a giraffe.
That lady has a nice dog.
I'm gonna get you the same kind of dog. I'm not gonna steal her dog, though.
You that dog.
I'm going to steal her dog!
Why would you
Perfect!
steal a dog?
Clearly, you haven't read any of the stories that r/entitled Parents. And no, I do not intend on reading any of those because they have been done to death.
No,
Yeah, I keep seeing those pop up on my feed.
I'd rather waste my time with stuff that would bring me enjoyment. Thank you very much.
Then what are you doing
Why are
here?
you here?
Because I made a commitment and I said I'd follow through, so I'm going to.
I turned around to face him. He looked so fine.
Wait, what? What was that noise?
That was the
I heard like, Nyeh! I had like taken my headphones off because I'm messing with a necklace. The next thing I know, I can hear somebody screaming.
No, it was a grunt.
Oh. You grunt
Honey,
really
you
well.
don't have to do this. Claude kissed me again, deeply this time. I couldn't resist responding to him with my own fiery passion. You deserve the best, sweet darling, he said. I want you to know that I'd do anything for you. I love you so. We held and kissed each other for several minutes. Maybe, I thought, this would be the night. We had been fighting the inevitable ever since we first confessed our love. One step at a time, girlfriend. Don't rush it.
I then focused on the basket.
You suck.
Yes, they do. I then focused on the basket, asking Claude, Now, Sugar Britches, what's in the basket? Fucking... You know, it's lines like that that make it tolerable.
Do they?
For me, it's stupid, and I like stupid humor. Claude,
What's in the box?
Claude Frollo looked at me with sparkling eyes, then took me by the hand over to the table. I do believe I owe you something. I'm surprised you haven't asked for it by now. I removed the white cover, reached inside, and took out a ball. My special autographed baseball.
Next to it was a severed head.
Ah, Frollo, did you start killing the children again? We can't use this as a replacement baseball. The baby's good for that.
We
Wait,
could use
no,
it as a
maybe
replacement
tennis ball.
bowling ball.
Pretty much.
You could just, like, use the nose and eye holes. Zane,
Yes?
think it's your line.
Baseball.
The thing that started it all.
Darn, I was about to have a joke for that, but... What's that bit?
After that one.
Claude then handed me... I immediately embraced and kissed him. What the...
Where are you?
I don't know!
Okay.
Control F.
Control F.
The
Baseball!
No, the thing that started it all.
Yeah, but he said baseball last, so I could just shut up. I found the thing that started it all. I playfully began as Claude started laughing. It ultimately brought us together. He added, then I noticed another item in the basket. What's this, Claude? I asked. I pulled out what looked like a mason jar. It's his cum.
Now I was confused. Mason jars did not exist in the 15th century. And what's this amber liquid inside? Oh, you were wrong. It was the piss jar.
Dang it!
Drink.
Claude nonchalantly replied, "Oh, that? Just something I thought you'd like. Go on, my dear, open it."
It's a bottle of eyes. I complied and opened the jar. The contents, the aroma were unmistakable. Tennessee whiskey? What? How?
What?
Where? Claude, Tennessee whiskey in 15th century France? I was so dumbstruck, so utterly confused that I felt myself swooning. What? No, I'd be scared. How did he get to Tennessee?
You fools! You messed with the natural order!
I actually want to do that one day. Just be like, hey, buddy, want some whiskey? It's just like future whiskey. How would they respond?
Moonshine.
I will not enable you with this.
Well, the problem with that is the fact that, like, back in the old days, people drank almost exclusively alcohol.
Water was bad for you then.
It still is if you live in Flint, Michigan.
Is that the place that's got super flooded right now?
No, that's the place where, like, shit's been going on to where the water's super contaminated.
Oh,
And it hasn't been getting fixed.
I see. I have to give my child alcohol because they won't fix the water.
Because the government won't send people to fix water in a primarily black neighborhood.
Ooh.
Well, it's like one of the whole things is like in like bigger cities, like you'll notice that the schools that have the most money going to them are schools that have primarily white kids going.
Ugh. What a depressing time we live in.
It's been that way for
Forever,
several
yeah.
years.
Mhm. It's fine. I'll just go teach there. That'll solve the problem.
What a depressing world we live in. What a depressing time we live in. Ever. Claude rushed over and caught me, taking the jar from my trembling hand. After placing the jar on the table, Claude guided me to the couch and cradled me like a small child.
What the fuck?
I'm uncomfortable. In my dazed state, I heard him say, "Denisha, I'm sorry, my love. I wasn't thinking. It's much too soon." I partially regained my sensors, and asked him, "What do you mean by too soon? I don't understand.
Claude tenderly kissed my face and mouth, his mood now turned to serious concern. Finally he said, Nisha, my dearest one, I know all about... How can I put this without shocking you further? I felt my bearings returning, only to be knocked for a loop again. You know all about what? I asked, now feeling uneasy and apprehensive.
Darling, Claude replied gently, I wanted to wait, but I know all about Fern, the car. You little excursions. I mean, he does have spies.
That does weirdly make sense. I felt myself swooning as I looked at Claude in bewilderment. You know about us. Why are you telling me this? I thought you loved me. You said you'd never hurt me. You should have thought about that before the assault. Both.
You guys suck.
Mhm.
Ah!
This one works, I think. Hold on. There we go. In regards to Frollo.
In regards to everyone.
Wait, he only knows about the car. Are you telling me this dude stole the car and went to fucking Tennessee?
Wait.
How
Oh
did he
god!
pay for it?
Hey, is it my line now?
Yes! It's
Okay.
been your line.
Okay, sorry. Tears welled up in my eyes, and Claude, now feeling guilty about this revelation, drew closer to me and held me tightly. I knew this would be too much for you, but sweet Nisha, everything would have been eventually revealed. I never meant for this to hurt you. I love you too dearly to upset you. Well, you upset her, so good job.
You upset all of us.
What he should have done just been like, hey, I know about that car thing, so like, yeah, you're not very good at hiding it. If you were trying to, so
Just waits for her in the passenger seat.
no, but he'd be like, here's a better place to hide it that no one will find it, so and so, you know. But no, he's just dumb. He kissed me, then finally confessed that what would at last explain why Fern brought me to the medieval Paris. Danisha, your friend Fern, darling, please don't be too shocked, has been here before. She's one of my spot.
What?
Big plot twist. Oh, Lord.
What? What?
What's your favorite color?
Blue.
That makes no fucking sense. What?
I
fucking hate this story now.
This is a bigger plot twist than in Light and Dark. And all the plot twists there.
Chapter 14. How long have I been out? I groggily asked Claude, who is now rocking me in his arms and stroking my hair. The room was dark, except for a few candles Claude had lit. I could hear the cathedral bells in the distance. He kissed me tenderly, and his mouth broadened into a smile. Judging by the bells of Notre Dame, in nearly 2 hours. I had a feeling this would be too much for you. I felt it best to let you sleep off the shock.
What?
God is dead and the story has killed him.
He was right. I had passed out. I'm glad that's the next line. I had passed out after Claude revealed the real reasons I was brought to medieval Paris. Fern had come to Paris several times during the previous winter and spring. Come to think of it, her visits coincided with her hitting the lottery.
What?
She pulled a biff. She met Claude Frollo, gained his confidence, and became a spy. Claude felt that Fern's American heartland demeanor would be the perfect ruse in apprehending petty criminals. He soon became fascinated by Fern's quick wit and keen intellect. Fern's hick-from-the-stick mannerisms belied a sharp mind.
You know what I have to say to this? Make like a tree and get out of here.
Yeah. Is it still my line or is it Zane's line now?
No, it's Zane's.
Okay.
It's my line.
Yep.
Yes.
Denisha?
No. Fern.
Even? Fern? Fern told Claude everything! The time travel device about Jackie, the specially equipped 1959 Chevy, and she told him about me! She told me all about you!
New?
Can you? She even told me about you. Even showed me all your pictures.
God damn it!
Claude kissed me as he continued. I was truly fascinated. Denisha so much that I wanted to meet you, perhaps become better acquainted. I'm glad you accepted our invitation to come to Paris. Fuck you!
Even in my half-conscious state, I had a tough time believing all this. I mean, how could a 15th century man be introduced to 20th century women only to find out the truth and not accuse us of being witches?
Because plot armor. That's the reason. Claude smiled as he immediately explained, "My love, kindly leave the superstitions to the common crowd. I'm not as close-minded as some would have you to believe. Really. Really."
You suck. You suck. You suck. You suck. You suck. You suck.
He knelt before me, kissed
You suck.
I knew that was coming. Kissed my hands and continued to explain.
I refuse. I'm boycotting. What are we reading? I can't. Fuck this story, man. Ugh.
Would you rather go back to reading Twilight?
Yes! Darling, did it ever occur to you why I didn't laugh at your comment? I like reading New Art history. I looked at it with the stars for Claude. Now I remember. I wonder, understand. We're still trying to fathom it all. Fuck you!
Because it's not a line to laugh at. What about that? What?
This story's stupid.
You suck.
My love, Claude continued, I will not pretend to understand everything about your country, your time. But for once in my life, Nisha, I feel I have been given a wonderful gift.
He paused to kiss my mouth and run his fingers through my hair. Then he continued. And that's the opportunity of finding a love that transcends all time and space. One that should have never happened.
You're right about one part of that.
You guys suck.
Fuck this guy. Fucking. I like this. I don't want to read anymore.
How is it that I always manage to find something that's worse than the last thing we did?
I don't know.
Like, it only escalates. It only escalates.
Where the fuck are we now?
Uh,
I don't even want to look at the page anymore, so I keep losing it.
Claude
Sure.
kissed me again.
mm-hmm.
Claude kissed me again. I couldn't help but respond to his every caress. Then I asked him, so that's where you got the whiskey from? From Fern? Claude nodded as he walked over to the table, picked up the mason jar, and replied, she gave this to me last winter. I had a slight cold at the time, and she said it would help. It is rather good, although I rarely indulge in strong drink.
Excuse me? Medieval France, there was nothing but strong drinks.
I was about to say, maybe he's just a milk drinker.
Maybe he's just a milk drinker.
I just thought of Skyrim. I want to play Skyrim.
I used to be an adventurer like you. I enjoy a shot of whiskey every now and then.
What is it? Dragons?
Thomas the Tank Engine. I offered, now feeling more like myself, although I was still somewhat in shock from all the secrets revealed. Fern always keeps it in mason jars. I continued laughing. She said it reminds her of her childhood. You see, Fern's great-uncle Burl kept a secret.
Oh, he was a moonshiner. Got it.
Yeah, that's kind of obvious. I wish I had some moonshine right now.
Claude joined in my good humor. I believe she told me he kept it hidden in the woods, not too far from... What was the name of the town?
I don't know. Hold on.
Why
I
did
gotta
you
think
put this in the chat?
Because this is the bullshit I end up seeing whenever whenever we do this stuff. This is more music to me. I would rather read this than whatever the fuck we're reading right now.
Yeah, I'm on Inspirabot, so yeah.
Anyways, Bean Blossom, Indiana, I answered. Right in the heart of the brown country. Claude chuckled as he opened the jar and poured a little of the contents into the small glass. Odd name for a town. Quaint, but odd. Probably because it's not French. He says he offered me the first sip. I feebly try to protest. Claude, I usually don't drink hard liquor in the summer. But
Oh, it's an actual city in Indiana.
Yes.
Interesting.
Alright, so I guess I'll just read the next one, since I could have just read that tiny line, but Zane took it. I took a small sip, rolled the whiskey around inside my mouth, and felt it burn as I swallowed. I handed the glass back to Claude, who in turn took a taste. Ooh! He sighed as he swallowed it. That is...
His mouth carved into that famous broad smile, and I, having regained my bearings, joined in his good humor. We soon broke down in laughter and relief. I fell into Claude's arms. "Claude, I love you," I said, kissing his lips. He returned the kiss and held me close. "And I love you, Nisha, darling."
nope. Sorry, but I don't like people who send stalkers on me.
Stalker? What?
Spies.
Oh, okay. You were speaking as the character.
Is it? I walked over.
Nah.
Look
Kiss
at him
me
just-
again.
Kiss me again. Mwah, 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 mwah. He kissed me again.
Yep.
Yes.
He kissed me again. Then it said it last. Do you and Fern still have it?
Have what, baby? I didn't say anything about it, baby. I asked, uncertain of his inquiry. The machine, that one that plays your 20th century music.
Once again, I was taken aback. You knew about that, too? Okay, so he knew about the time-traveling car, but you're surprised that he knew about a CD player, or a tape player, or whatever.
Jukeboxes!
I asked, wondering what else Fern had told him about 20th century American life and culture. Claude looked at me, his eyes clothed in smiles and sparkles.
This is the skin of a killer.
Wouldn't it be nice if we were older? Then I wouldn't have to wait so long.
For Zane to read his line.
I refuse to read. I don't want to read this. Please, can we read something else?
Now,
The
don't
sooner you
worry, we
read,
only
sooner
have
we
to
can
read
finish.
one of these next week. Next weekend.
I don't know, Scoob. Knowing us and knowing me, I'm gonna make it like 3 more episodes.
Yeah, but you know what we're doing for the other session this upcoming weekend?
I think you told me about it.
Yes.
I'm not gonna spoil it though. Oh my dear, Fern gave me many insights to your culture, and I must say, your American music is rather shitty. I mean, fascinating. Perhaps somewhat harsh for our 15th century ears, but fascinating nonetheless.
I mean, I'm not too keen on its talk about freedom, but
Hang on, be right back.
being as I am a medieval era
Aristocrat?
person of power with
Mhm.
ties to the church.
Yeah, I was
and
about to say.
likely used my religion as a justification to keep people as property. Therefore, your music about rebellion displeases me.
Okay, I'm back. Sorry.
I stared at him in amazement. What other surprises are you going to spring on me, Claude Frollo? Claude burst into hearty laughter as he refilled the glass, then settling himself on the couch said, I do believe all the secrets have been revealed. Now, a little music, my dear.
Huh. I walked over to the cabinet where Fern and I kept the CD boombox and began selecting a few discs. Then I
Fuck yeah,
glanced
boomboxes. Oh, fuck, it's in
Oh
this
yeah,
story.
I forgot this is taking place in the past. She could just pull out her phone and be like, surprise, yeet, music.
Then I glanced over at Claude, who was smiling pleasantly and started giving me steamy come on looks.
Come on, what?
Then several of his spies came out yelling, Witch! Witch! She knows how to use
Which
this infernal device. Burn her at the stake. Did you just make a joke about sandwich?
No, I was doing wordplay based around witches, but that is the name of a sandwich place, yes.
Which is amazing.
You know
Which?
what's also amazing? Suabwe.
Which is way better than Subway.
Sube!
Suba, is it my line again?
Yes.
Can it not be?
No.
Let's see. 1, 2. Look at him sitting over there smiling and look at me like nothing happened. I mean, he comes over, I cook him a nice summer and expect a romantic evening, and then he KOs me by telling me he knew Fern and everything. I'll play him some music, alright.
I mean, I was going to read that, but okay. Fine, I just get an entire most of a paragraph.
Yep.
Have fun with that.
Except for that last line. I selected a steamy assortment of country tunes and old R&B. Claude, I said sweetly as I loaded the CDs into the machine, would you like me to sing to you? Claude Frollo raised an eyebrow as he took second sip of whiskey.
No, your voice sucks, bitch.
As he took second sip of whiskey.
Oh, yes, second sip of whiskey. Almost as
Where
good as
vodka?
second sip of vodka.
Where vodka?
Who knows
You must
where
be
vodka-
pulling leg.
You have no vodka? Why? Why you
suka.
invite me here? Why you
Good
invite
vodka, comrade.
I
My
require more
darling.
vodka.
I would love to hear you sing. You have such a lovely voice. He smiled again, adding that he remembered hearing me sing to the children. But Claude, those were kids' songs. I paused, taking great care not to reveal my surprise. Anal. How about a nice love song? Claude said.
Then I shoved the mic up his ass.
God damn it.
What? That's a big surprise, and you made a joke about that earlier.
Yes, but you cut me off, guard. There you go.
Yay, I got microphone. Sing. What?
Ugh.
Okay, brain. I don't know why I went with singing, but okay.
How about a nice love song? Claude said as he smiled
No.
broadly. A tender, sweet love song. I would love to hear it.
Whatever
No.
whatever you say, sweet Claude. I tried not to laugh as I hit the play button. I turned to face Claude, saying, "Okay, baby, here it goes. Oh Lord, here we go."
I want it that way. Tell me why.
I need
Heartbreak. Tell me why. Ain't nothing but a mistake. Why did I immediately go Backstreet Boys?
Who knows? Whenever I hear that song, I can only think of the comedian singer.
My immediate thought is the slasher killer version.
Oh,
I'll kill you that way.
nice.
When you die, ain't nothing but a dreamscape.
Just Tom's just.
I believe it's. I mean, I've never stopped.
I
believe it's your line, Zane.
yes, it's Zane's line.
It's my line. I thought it was Tom's line.
I
You
read
just
my
his
line.
So it's I never stopped?
No,
Up soon.
soon.
Soon the blare of saxophones, the pounding of drums and bass assailed Quad Frollo's ears like nothing he'd ever experienced!
Zane,
Da 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 da.
It was
Wait, what?
bass. It was bass, not bass.
Bass?
It's bass, not bass.
Bass?
Drop
Yep.
the bass.
Yeah, exactly. Suddenly fishes. Like he never experienced! Nothing his look of utter amazement. I began to join my little game. My body began to rock and sway to the rhythm as I sang along with Ray Charles.
You know the nighttime is the right time to be with the one you love.
Poor Claude didn't know what hit him. I could tell he was getting turned on because he couldn't take his eyes off me. I was enjoying the amorous expressions on his face. I saw shade toward him just as the Raylets hollered.
They hollered, "Loo, loo, loo, loo." Baby!
Night and day.
Baby!
Night and day.
Baby!
Night and day.
You know I love you.
What even is this?
I shimmied up to Claude, who by now was clearly aroused.
What?
Hmm.
What, does this dude have like a huge dongle or something? Is he like showing it to you?
It turns out it's actually his codpiece.
Oh yeah. Codpiece. Why was that invented?
To make your dick look bigger.
Oh really? Is that the actual thing?
I mean, it's supposed to look like an erect dick under your clothes.
Yeah, but like still, who thought it was a good idea? Like who's just like the ladies will love this.
I mean, I remember seeing a documentary on like this one group of African tribes where the men wore what is known as a penis gourd, and it's literally like a hollowed out gourd that's worn over the dick.
Why?
I'm guessing to protect the dick, but at the same time, I think it's one of those things where you have to make sure you don't turn too quickly. Because that thing could extend out like over a foot, like the gourd. You don't want to smack that on something. But it basically always makes them look like they have a long, erect dick.
But it also looks fruity.
Looks like a fucking zucchini. A squash.
If you turn too fast, it will be squashed.
Accidentally smack it on a doorway.
Yep.
Oh, shit. He let out a sigh of pleasant approval as I sidled up to him, grinding my hips. Grinding!
Ah,
I
grinding.
stroked his silky gray dick hair and continued to croon the lyrics in my dark, smoky alto.
His silky gray dick hair?
Now, I know it wasn't the whiskey, for Claude had only a couple of sips, but what happened next really took me by surprise. As soon as the song finished, Claude got to his feet, looked at me with smoldering eyes, and in a sexy growling voice said, "I don't remember when I had so much fun. Denisha, you are amazing."
I mean, that would have been really funny with the voice I've been giving him. In a sexy, growling voice. I don't remember when I had so much fun.
Oh my.
Oh my.
Ooh my.
Oh no.
Oh no. So
He drew closer to me.
He drew closer to me?
Yes.
Where did he get the crayon? Took me in his arms and kissed me deeply. I felt a shiver of desire surge through my body. I sighed with delight as Claude continued to caress my neck and shoulders. Oh! He's choking me! The feel of his lips, his teeth, his tongue, his tender yet passionate words of love. And Claude knew all the words. He moaned his pleasure as I returned each and every caress with a fiery hunger. I ate his fingers.
Just flashing back to the story I heard from Zokin that it was one of the funniest things I ever heard.
Hmm.
It had to do with like this one couple that was like their first time doing choking.
Uh-oh.
And the guy didn't realize that he wasn't supposed to have his hands tightly wrapped around her throat.
Ay.
And so, like, right when she orgasmed, she passed out. So she's completely unconscious. He's panicking, thinking he accidentally killed her.
And then she wakes up just fine later, right?
Yeah, she woke up just fine, but didn't remember what happened.
Did I come, babe? Yes? Everything's fine.
Like freaking out, like, oh god, I've gotta tell this girl's parents that I accidentally murdered her during sex.
Hey.
How the hell you murder someone during sex? What do you mean?
I accidentally choked her to death. Because it's the whole thing, like, when you're actually doing, like choking with your partner, like, you don't keep your hands tightly wrapped. You just do it enough to, like, cut off enough oxygen to where they start getting off. But, yeah, the idea of sex mishaps is much more enjoyable than this. Claude then released me and gave me the sexiest come on look yet. Come on what? Come on him?
Come on me. Yes.
Claude's getting bukkakied. He wants it that way. Now, my sweet. He growled sensually as he began to slowly grind his pelvis, a singularly deliberate, erotically charged movement. Show me that move again.
My
Oh,
eyes,
yes, baby.
my eyes followed his every movement. He never told me he could move like that as I hit the play button. Soon we were dancing. Or did I say dancing?
I meant fucking.
Like hard dick down on the ground fucking.
We were 69ing on the floor.
Wait, isn't he supposed to be like celibate or whatever? Because he's part of the church?
Well, in
never
the
confirmed.
Disney adaptation, he's part of the... Like, he's a judge. I think there was some sort of celibacy thing that he was supposed to do, which was part of the whole thing with Esmeralda.
Which is why he was being a bad boy?
Singing about the fact that, like, what he was doing was wrong, but at the same time, if he wouldn't join her, he'd kill her so that she was cast into the fires of hell.
What the fuck? That's not how that works!
That was the whole point of the song.
Well, that's the whole thing. Like, gypsies were considered impure by the Catholic Church and therefore not allowed into heaven.
What?
That was one of the things that was also happening when the Spanish Inquisition popped up, is that was also around the same time that, like, the Islamic influence in Spain had died down slightly, so suddenly the Catholic Church came in and started murdering everyone that wasn't white and or Christian.
Allow us to introduce ourselves.
Going off the
Nobody
idea that
expects
only
the
white
Spanish
Catholics were
Inquisition.
allowed into heaven.
That's dumb.
Yes, it is dumb. That's religion for you.
Human bigotry. And they missed the entire point of grace.
Who was the one? Oh, that was Tom that read that. So it's Zane's line.
So where am I? He continued to caress me?
It was more like.
It was more like he continued to caress me.
No. It's directly under my eyes, followed his every movement.
It's right above the one you were looking at.
Yeah.
It was more like Dirty Dancing as Claude.
That movie was terrible.
Every moment, every twist and shimmy, every bump and grind. I never knew Claude was so sensual.
He's not.
Hmm.
I was almost shocked as he held my body oh so close to his while in mid grind. Oh, he's so
Oh, feel the magic. He continued to caress me with his mouth, hands, and body for the duration of the song. Desire took me on a wild, mad ride. It was like riding a runaway roller coaster. I just couldn't stand another moment of contact unless Claude was going to take this seduction routine further.
Don't stop it. Don't stop yet, honey. There are so many vacation spots I long to visit. Spots that we long to visit.
Jesus, you guys read so fast.
Mm-hmm.
Is it
Nope, that's the one after that.
When this song finished, Claude released me and stared in my eyes. Ugh. His mouth twitched into a wide, sexy, wicked grin. We soon fell to floor laughing, still holding on to each other. Honey, I said between giggles, I never knew. Did I keep going?
Nope, it's Llytic's line.
Llytic doesn't exist.
Sorry, I went to go dispose of my can.
Well, it's your line now,
As
so...
I finished the drink about 5 minutes in.
Okay.
Do you
If
have something
that.
to drinky?
I wish I had more. When the song finished, Claude released me and stared and... Wait. That was probably what Zane read.
Yep.
Claude rolled me on my back and kissed my neck and face. Oh, my sweet... oh, my Misha, sweet gal. You are hardly a gal.
Yeah, shouldn't she be a woman?
I'm hoping that that's where that line is going. Either way, it's still creepy infantilization. It's either that or something else entirely.
Ooh.
Ugh. Turns out her dick is bigger than his. Anyway.
Oh my gosh, I've actually been trying to find stuff like that. Because for some reason, there's like a genre of hentai of like, it's like, I think humiliation, like that's what it's going for. Of just
Yeah.
little sisters having dicks like 3 times bigger than their brothers.
Why? Why
And
is
there's
he
just like
saying
so
that?
much disappointment where they're like, I want to see my big bro's big dick, but then they're just like, oh, big bro has a small dick. As their dick, like, reaches above their head, and it's just the most surreal thing ever. Like, who comes
Why
up?
is it all incest?
I don't know. That's the other thing. It's not like random people. It's always like their little sister, or like a role close to that.
Like, that's the part that's disturbing me.
Especially because sometimes, like, the older brother's girlfriend gets involved, and the little sister's just like, sorry, I borrowed your girlfriend, and your dick's so small she can't be pleased by it anymore because I ripped her a new one. Just shit like that, and it's just like, what the fuck?
Why is it all incest?
I don't know. That's what I'm trying to figure out, because I can't find it with it being a stranger. It's always a related person.
Like, I couldn't give half a shit whether or not she has a dick.
Yeah, but it's like always a sibling, and it's always like some weird competition. It's like, what? Why? What's going on? Like, I think one, it's just like, I need you to take your pants off because for some reason we're studying the difference between fooded dicks and normal dicks. And she's like, brother, you're the only one I could ask to do this. And the next thing I know, she's just like, wow, your dick's pretty small. Oh well, at least you're cute, brother.
Yeah.
It's just weird.
It's
The only
not
time
weird.
that should ever be said is whenever it's like in a Hulk Hogan voice.
Your dick's pretty small, brother. But I respect that because I love you.
Get on the bed, brother. Just,
Ooh,
Hey.
Pomp Kimochi, what's the sticky stuff on me? Shit.
Pampamuchi, what's the sticky stuff on me? It's the glue from my arts and crafts.
Whose line is it?
It's still mine.
Okay.
I never knew you could be so sensual, so utterly desirable. He continued to kiss and caress me. Then he sat up and glanced toward the stairs. There was no need to figure out exactly what Claude was thinking. I had a feeling it would all come to this eventually.
He helped me to my feet, embraced me again, and another song played. I felt another giggle coming on as the strains of Charlie Rich wafted through the room. Claude kissed me again, then guided me up the stairs and towards my room.
Alright, now go to sleep, sweetie. You're too drunk. To my room. Oh my gosh, I really have been not looking at this because I hate it that much.
Your line is when we get behind closed doors.
Mm-hmm.
When we get behind closed doors, I started crooning the lyrics as Claude led me through the bedroom door, still kissing and caressing my face and body.
Take the ribbon from my hair.
Claude ran his fingers through my hair as I slowly loosened the buckle of his belt. His moans
Ugh.
of desire sent a thrill through my body. He guided me toward the bed.
Ugh.
We continued to caress each other, following droplets of perspiration to far-off exotic places.
Please stop.
Vagina.
Ugh. It must have been close to dawn. The sounds of the cathedral bells awoke me. I watched Claude as he slept, stroked his soft gray hair, and traced his handsome features. I would do this many times afterwards. That's pretty
Stroking
creepy,
his
darling.
face off. Is the next line mine?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Claude began to stir, stretching that long, gorgeous, slender body.
He had both, though, so it was good.
It's like a foot long, but it's built like a Twizzler.
For some reason, I just thought of Mr. Bloom. Just Mr. Bloom shows up in this story, impales both Claude and Denisha, and
On his dick.
and that's the good ending.
Stretches out his dick.
Ooh, stop. Why are you talking about this?
I've heard about Lansing, but this is ridiculous. Claude.
I'm out again.
He opened his eyes, drew himself closer to me, and kissed my lips.
Mwah.
Now it's Tom's line.
Good morning, darling, he began. I looked at him in semi-amusement. Morning, honey, even though it's not quite daylight, I replied, returning the kiss. Claude chuckled as he held me close to him.
Fortunately, they would be dead by daylight.
The game. Pew, pew, pew.
Blam.
Everything was, oh, my dear Nisha, so beautiful, so wonderful, he softly said as he let his tongue graze my ear. Ew. And neck.
Lettuce.
Ew. I returned to caress. Oh, baby, I love you so much. I really.
Necking is a fun group activity, but this is ruining it.
That's a neck.
Not what necking means, but okay.
Why love when you can amputate one of your legs? That's what I'm thinking right now.
So you can shove the leg up. Anyway, I had to stop myself.
You're into some weird stuff, Llytic.
This stuff happens when you're technically immortal. Because I knew this was only temporary. As of August, the many nights of passion Claude and I had yet to share would be just sweet memories. I didn't want to spoil the tender moments we were sharing now.
I just kissed him again, then realized that we never had supper. Oh no!
Oh no!
The food stayed out all night. Our meal was ruined.
Oh no!
The meal's ruined. It's ruined.
Okay, be cool.
My food is ruined. Is it? Claude smiled.
No, it's okay,
Is it?
be
I
cool.
heard. It's okay. Be cool. You can whip something together.
Claude, I said as I got up and put on a robe. Are you hungry? Claude Frollo shot me a look that would have made Jackie Collins blush. He pursed his lips together in an air kiss and said, "Oh, how did you know that I was still..." Ah!
I shot back the look. I meant for food, baby.
Not vagina.
At once, Claude and I broke up in laughter as I embraced him, kissed him again. Let's take care of our appetite for food, then.
Ha 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 ha. Claude smiled as he snuggled under the covers. Don't be too long, dearest, for I am ravenously hungry.
Give it up, Llytic. It's not going to work.
No, I was trying to shoot Claude
Eh,
and Denisha.
okay.
I heard him laugh as I walked out of the room saying, "Damn, for a man over 50, you sure have healthy appetites."
I had been awake for less than an hour. It finally
You
stopped
guys
raining,
suck.
but it was getting colder. I snuggled closer to Claude in an effort to warm myself.
No.
No!
Feels so good lying here next to him, just like that first night. It wasn't cold, that's for sure.
How about new?
How about no?
My reverie was disrupted by a knock at the door. Claude immediately awakened. "They must have found him," he said, but his voice still heavy with sleep. He got up and went to the door. I could hear serious conversation between Claude and one of his guards. Then Claude returned to my side. He gently kissed me and held me for several moments.
No.
At last he said, "The soldier and my snowball have been found, and near a place that should be familiar to you." Claude didn't have to explain any further. I knew exactly what he meant. Okay, that's about as
Snowball had been hung.
Oh boy. Can we be done for the day?
No.
Yes.
No.
I vote
We're
done.
going for
This
about an
one
hour
chapter, then we're done.
now. Ugh, okay, fine.
Chapter 15.
This chapter's too long.
Hmm.
It needs to
It's
be
a
like,
short... Whoa.
needs-
For this, it's long.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway.
I have
What
a
the
doctor's appointment
fuck?
at the dentist I have to take care of.
You do?
No.
Oh. I couldn't tell if you were fucking me or not. Or
I
fucking with me.
said doctor's appointment at the dentist.
Technically, the dentist could be a doctor.
I was making a reference to the song.
Hmm.
You know, the one about having 3 types of erections.
Oh, there are three kinds of erections.
Wait, is it
Some
mine?
are sensual, some are girdering times of nervous tension. There's a mysterious third kind that no one understands. Happens when your Johnson decides to take things into its own hands. No reason, boner.
Okay, can we finish this chapter? I want to be done.
Oh, we're waiting for Zane to read.
I tried not to shiver from the cool, damp morning air. Nonetheless, I snored closer to Claude in an effort to stay warm. Claude sensed my discomfort and covered me with a spare cloak he always had in the carriage.
"That feels better," I said at last, stroking the deep plush velvet. Claude chuckled as he held me close. The sound of the carriage wheels and clip-clop of hooves helped put me at ease.
I peered out the window and could see the chateau in the distance. It was unlike its more expansive, impressive cousins, but quietly stately and elegant. It had a warm, inviting presence, more like a home than a castle.
Do you remember the first time I brought you out here? Claude asked. I looked at him with wide eyes. How can I forget? So many surprises. I began to
You
laugh at
stuck
the
so many things up your ass.
And I haven't forgotten how surprised you were, Claude Frollo, when I stuffed it up your ass.
When I
The interior
stuffed that fire poker.
The interior of the carriage reverberated with my laughter. Claude joined in on the good humor. Yes, the entire day was full of revelations and good times, he said as he kissed my neck. It was really strange when I shoved that Tennessee whiffy up his ass and then back into the... What?
Sorry, I'm just imagining him getting a mason jar shoved up his ass.
Yeah, and then all the liquid goes up his ass, and then she turns him over, and it goes all back in, and then he drinks it.
And then he dies of alcohol poisoning.
And because he has booty alcohol.
Yeah, that's what happens when you butt chug booze. You die.
Oh. I didn't know that was an actual thing.
Yep. If you give yourself a booze enema, you'll basically just destroy your liver.
Alcohol up the butt. That's what I was talking about.
Yes.
Alcohol and enema.
I then focused on why we were making this trip. After a brief silence, I asked, "Claude, who was he and what happened to him?" Claude knew I was referring to the soldier.
With a sigh, he replied, a troubled young man. I thought I was doing him a favor, gave him a job, but his voice trailed off as we turned up the long drive leading to the chateau. I guess it's time to hang him now.
The shithole.
It's time to hang him? Oh. Oh, God. Then
Utilizing Zane.
Yes.
he infuriated me with his ineptness. I had no choice but to let him go. He was totally unsuitable as a soldier.
I mean, he didn't kill a single person.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I finally understood why Claude discharged his lieutenant. Then Claude explained how the young man ended up on the estate. All I know is what was reported to me. The man was injured, found by someone not yet known, and brought to the caretaker's cottage. I kissed his... Oh, wait. All I know is what was reported of me. The man was injured, found by someone not yet known, and brought to the caretaker's cottage. I kissed his lips and stroked his face, my hand following the sharp profile. Well, he won't run, that's for sure.
Because his legs are broken.
I saw to it personally that he lost his caps.
Claude chuckled as he returned my kiss. Then I added, I want to see this fool who caused you so much grief. We broke up in laughter as we neared the chateau. Okay, this is getting disturbing.
Yeah, it's getting dark.
Why do I get the feeling that it's the lady who hooked up with Esmeralda? I mean, it's the dude who hooked up with Esmeralda.
Once again, my mind was engulfed in memories, more revelations than, just as Claude said, good times.
That was great. You tell the funniest stories, said Quasi between laughs. It started as any other Sunday. I went to morning mass, then visited Quasimodo in the bell tower. Although most of my days and nights were spent with Claude, I never forgot about my special little buddy.
I had just told him my famous joke about the Hoosier and the Kentuckian. I had to slightly alter the reference to flashlight. Lord knows I wasn't about to explain that.
We were still laughing when we heard a deep, familiar voice behind us. Such merriment up here. Frollo strode through the door. He was smiling pleasantly and carrying a basket. He must be in a real good mood.
I warmly greeted him as Quasi set the little table. I had a feeling you'd be here. I'm glad I brought enough for 3, said Claude smilingly. Then, as Quasi had his back to us, Claude quickly kissed my lips.
So, is this the part where we learn that Quasimodo's a spy?
Yes.
He's a spy for Esmeralda. Why so secretive, honey? I think he knows.
We enjoyed a pleasant mid-morning meal, all 3. Quasi nudged me, trying hard not to laugh. Go on, tell my master that story. Claude Frollo raised an eyebrow as he sipped his wine. A story? Ah, so that explains the recent levity, he said, and then looking at me with smiling eyes, added, apparently Quasimodo found your tale amusing. He softly chuckled as he reached under the table and grasped my hand. Then he cooed. I would love to hear it, while giving me a slightly smoldering look.
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 A galuk?
Yep, a galuk.
Oh, no look. Ooh. If he doesn't quit doing that, no wonder I give in to him. He knows it works.
I tried to worm out of it, but it was no use. Claude, I really don't tell this a second time, but anything to please you. Due to space limitations, the Hoosier and the Kentuckian can be found here. Read it, laugh, then come back to the story. Don't worry, it's clean.
Okay, let's not read that.
Yeah, 90s humor tends to be pretty shit.
Well, curious just to see what it is. I'll open it in a new tab, read it later. Claude Frollo's mouth immediately twitched into a broad smile. He began to chuckle, then, overcome with mirth, filled the bell tower with his deep, throaty, uproarious laughter. Even Quasi and I couldn't resist breaking up a second time. Claude's laughter was that infectious.
Tom?
I just read.
You haven't finished your line.
That was a riot, Quasi laughingly said. It's even better the second time.
Even more shit than 90s humor is 1400s humor.
I kept looking at Claude, who clearly enjoyed my little tale. Liked that, didn't you, honey? I said, my sides hurting from so much laughter. Claude, still amused, took my hand and said, my dear, that was one of the funniest tales I've ever heard. It's one of your best.
He continued to chuckle as he turned to Quasimodo. My boy. He
My
said
boy.
to his young charge, "I believe we shall miss this young lady. She's been like a breath of fresh air."
Probably
felt-
because she doesn't smell like shit.
I felt a twinge of sadness, for I knew my Parisian summer was quickly coming to an end. Fern was due back from Texas Friday. We would be leaving Paris the following week. At once, I pushed those thoughts from my mind, as I didn't want to spoil this light-hearted moment. Wazzy just smiled at me, finished clearing the table, and left to perform his chores downstairs.
Again, time wouldn't need to run parallel.
Well, maybe she's going back as soon as she dropped off her son, and she's going back to a week afterwards, just because she was like, "Oh, I'll just let."
I'll just
What?
be a dick and leave her in Paris in like medieval times Paris.
Well, yeah, it's like,
Hopefully, she hasn't died of the Black Plague.
I mean, she is a spy after all, so
Maybe
Hey.
she was ordered to do that. Don't come back for a week.
That's some slander against spies.
she's a spy for Frollo.
Okay, never mind.
Alright, where's my line?
Uh,
All alone?
all alone.
All alone in the bell tower, Claude and I looked at each other. I could sense that he too was reluctant to acknowledge the fact that in less than 14 days I'll be on my way home. We said nothing of our eventual parting. Instead, Claude, upon espying
A spying.
A spy.
a book nearby, suggested a quiet Sunday excursion.
I see you're interested in architecture, he said as he began leafing through the book on Indiana architecture. Oh, that, I responded. I bought that book years ago. It's very fascinating. Lots of history. I walked up next to him and pointed to the photograph of a stately mansion.
That's the old governor's mansion on Meridian Street. The present mansion is just 4 blocks north. It's a very lovely house inside and out.
I understand what none of this means.
Claude studied the photo. Very impressive, he said. just looks at it, has like in his head, I have no idea what this means. Very impressive!
I have no idea how to read.
This is in English and I speak French. This is also not the English I know.
He said, then he suggested that we take a brief trip to see several fine old chateaus not
Shitholes.
too far from the city. I think you'll be impressed. Some of these structures date back to the latter days of the Empire.
A tour of the fine French chateaus in the country. With Claude! Ugh.
I'd never seen much of the French countryside during my entire stay in Paris, but I had no idea that Claude had another surprise in store for me. Anal!
Just picture people going back in time to the medieval ages, all because they want to go into the countryside, but it's like when the Vikings are invading and they just get murdered.
Let's get fucking massacred.
Well, that would be in the time of Rome, though, right?
No, the Vikings were also around the time, like medieval era. Late medieval era. I mean, early medieval era.
Yeah.
It was actually like the mass creation of castles, if memory serves, was actually partly done in order to try and keep them out.
Oh.
Because tough as they were, they couldn't exactly break down brick with their bare hands.
And they didn't have any, siege tools?
Not much, no. It was mainly just a whole bunch of men and women in light armor murdering the shit out of people.
Alright.
So that's why there's so many abandoned castles in fantasy games.
The Vikings succeeded.
Yes.
Okay, I believe it's Tom's line.
Yeah, sorry, I lost my place. Hang on.
As we prepared to leave.
There we go. As we prepared to leave, Claude propped his foot up on a stool and dusted his boots. He was wearing a short black tunic, hose, and boots. I admired the way the purple hose clung to his long, shapely legs.
Claude, the finest legs I've ever seen on a man. He's old! He's got old man legs!
He has no ass! I couldn't help myself. Claude immediately picked up on this and playfully said, Denisha, don't tell me you are staring at my legs.
Ew.
Just returning the compliment, baby. If I'm correct, you were staring at my legs. Claude Frollo laughed and took me into his arms. Well, I've always admired feminine beauty, he said, kissing my lips.
I'm pretty sure my legs are better than the both of them.
Mine too, probably. Especially yours. Claude always commented favorably on my physical beauty, and I always returned the compliment. Because that's the only thing that matters.
Well, I began as we descended the bell tower steps. You've got a nice package.
Old man dick.
Quad Frollo, my mouth curved into a wicked grin as I thought of Quad Frollo's fine physique.
Can we stop with the wicked smiles and grins?
No, that's
We're both
what
evil,
your
so-
staple.
You sure has a fine body. Girl, look at those legs. Wonder what he
And
looked
that
like in
package.
tight blue jeans, or, Lord have mercy, black leather.
Once outside Notre Dame, Claude helped me into his carriage. He looked at me intently as he settled next to me. A wide smile lit up his face. Whatever you were thinking, Nisha, he began while he kissed my cheek and shoulder. Just be careful. You may get what you wish for. I just looked at Claude and giggled, my mind still filled with images of Claude Frollo dressed in nothing at all.
We must steal his leather pants!
With much effort, I pulled the sexy visions out of my mind as we arose.
You have a
Beyond the
weird
city
definition
walls.
of sexy, ma'am.
Is this considered kink shaming?
Yes. Good thing kink shaming is my kink.
Alright, I said my line, so...
Oh.
Yeah.
Now, I paid no attention to where we were going. I was too wrapped in in conversation with Claude. Then, unexpectedly, he began to ask about Jackie and her family. What was her family name? He asked. I thought nothing of discussing this with Claude. I thought he was just curious.
Darcy, I replied, pronouncing the name in its Anglo form.
Claude looked puzzled. You mean Darcy? He quickly corrected, pronouncing the name in its French form. No, I'm not French, I'm Anglo.
He then, with the disdained expression, isn't English the language of your country? I nodded yes.
Claude then rolled his eyes in exasperation and sighed. No wonder, typical of the English to take a good French name and butcher it.
English does that to everything.
Yeah, it's not just French. You're not special.
I mean, after all, sayonara is practically an English word at this point.
Hasta la vista, baby.
I managed to smooth things over by kissing his hands, complimenting his taste in jewelry, and telling him over and over how much I loved him. Claude chuckled as he returned my caress and said, I do believe we're here. You'll find this place extremely interesting. I've known the family for years. I'm sure they won't mind a brief visit.
They
Get
shot
the
them on
fuck out
sight.
of here, you piece of shit. Yeah. I said I would never want to see you again, Quad Frollo.
Quad Frollo. 4 Frollos.
Hey.
He took his my eyes took in the natural beauty of the French countryside. Oh God, it's all on fire. There's guillotines everywhere. So much different from town. In a way, the trees and hills reminded me of home. I began to have a twinge of deja vu. I just been in the place before. Higher on the street, the main drive looked awfully familiar. I could feel my heart beating
on a
faster. My eyes widened in astonishment. Oh no, that's the chateau. Fern keeps the car on the estate. Why is Claude doing this?
Should I just skip Tom since he walked off?
Yes.
Claude Frollo sensed my reaction and immediately put me at ease. Please don't be too upset, my love. I thought it was high time you should go inside this magnificent home. He then kissed me and helped me from the carriage.
I was still too bewildered for words. I squeezed Claude's arms. We approached the main entrance. Just then, a young man approached us from the side. He was brandishing a knife. He was about 20, very tall, with an athlete's build. By very tall, she means he was...
Average.
5'9". Sandy-haired, freckled complexion. I knew this young man right away.
Okay, I'm back. Sorry. Kyle? I tentatively asked. I knew this was Fern's son, but I wanted to be sure. Kyle ran up and quickly embraced me. Although I was glad to see him, I was still confused. Claude
Oh
greeted
God,
Kyle.
she took him to the only place worse than Texas, medieval France.
Fuck you, I love Texas. Claude greeted Kyle warmly
Fuck you.
as we went inside the chateau. I asked him why he was in medieval France.
Yeah, Texas is the best state. I don't know what you're talking about. Oh, didn't Ma tell you she wanted to get back earlier? She's inside. I turned my eyes to Claude, smiling this time instead of swooning. I then ran up and punched Fern. The fuck you mean you're a spy, you piece of shit?
Sorry, but I still much prefer Wisconsin. For
Personal
one,
taste,
I'm pretty sure that Wisconsin never booed Bill Nye out of a place for saying that the moon's light was a reflection of the sun. That was
Okay,
a
I'm pretty
thing.
sure not everyone in Texas was there.
Yeah, exactly.
Simply put, this is a place full of quite possibly the stupidest people I've ever come across.
I didn't know you've been
That's
all around the
saying
world.
something.
Okay.
Let's see, where were we?
The history of it is quite interesting.
The history of it is fucking stupid. It immediately ran itself into an irreparable debt and had to sell itself to Texas. I mean, sell itself to the United States. Let's see. Oh, didn't Ma tell you? Wait. Is that my line? Or?
Yeah, I think that's your line.
She wanted to get back earlier. She's inside. I turned my eyes to Claude, smiling this time instead of swooning.
Wait, I just said that.
Oh, never mind. You misled me, Tom.
Well, you believed me, so that's your fault.
Yeah, but who's the
Just
bigger
make it
fool?
known.
The fool or the fool who believed the fool?
I hate all of
Yes.
you. Get that.
You knew this would happen. Even after you'd promised me there would be no more surprises, you would spring this on me. Claude laughed and put his arm around my waist.
No! She's mad.
Surprises are terrible.
My dearest, I wanted the remainder of your holiday to be as memorable as possible, he whispered in my ear. You are pleased, aren't you?
No.
All I could do was kiss his lips and whisper back, "Fuck you, honey." No, she says thanks like, no, ugh.
Kyle caught up with us. He began telling us of his experiences in Texas.
Man, Texas was a blast. I got to shake Sam Houston's hand. I looked at Claude in amusement, saying, Boy, when Fern said a trip to Texas, I had no idea she meant 1840s Texas.
What is wrong with these people?
Claude picked up on my good humor just as Fern approached me in the main hall. Well, she began cheerfully, it's
Wait,
about
that's
time
my
you folks
line.
got here. Minister Frollo, good to see you again. Sorry.
Stop reading his lines!
Claude
Well-
extended his hand to her, saying warmly, "And what a pleasure it is to see you as well." Fern hugged me and said, "You all come on into the drawing room. Jackie's here, and there are some other good folks I want you to meet." Wait, are we about to meet Sam Houston? Bring George Washington to France?
Yes.
Jackie's here. Why? Who were these good folks? I was about to meet. What?
What an interesting story. We done for the day then?
I hate existence.
Gotta go walk the dogs. Bye.
Well-
Sure, just make it difficult for me. Oh God, I accidentally deleted the owl.